I just met a lady with a chip in her hand. You know what she did? She pulled out her phone and she scanned her hand like it was an app, like it was a barcode. Not only that, guys, she told me that this is the future, that her job made her do it. Some big company, I can't say the company, guys. I'm not going to tell you the company. I can't do that. She scanned her hand. Guys, she has a chip in her hand. And she had the nerve to tell me that I'm going to have to get it soon, too. I told her, who the hell you think you're talking to, bro? I'm not getting nothing. Then she goes on talking about this digital ID things, which I know nothing about. She told me that I'm going to have to make a choice real soon. I said, I made my choice. Seems like you made yours, too. Then she started talking about Sweden, how people already got chips in their hand. Entertainment purposes only. This is what she said. I don't know how true this is. And I don't know who that lady is. But the fact that she had the nerve to come up to me and tell me that I'm going to have to get this too, I ain't getting nothing. I would rather go do it before I comply. Let's not forget, guys, it's starting elsewhere, but one day it's going to be right here in front of our faces. Some lady, she's here. She had it in her hand. She's working for a certain company that I cannot mention. Guys, get ready. It's about to go down. I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think about this, because I don't know what to think. I'm out.
Shalom. Before I get started with this lesson, I want to give all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachahakwadash. Double honors to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught me this truth and that rule well. And peace and salutation to the elect that's out here laboring in all truth and sincerity. To you, I say Shalom. It's your brother Amon Ariyah from the GMS Charlotte camp, coming back with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachahakwadash. And Baba Kwashai, I pray this lesson is edifying and straight to the point. But as you saw in this video that I just played, this is just, further proof of the time that we are in. Okay, we, as the prophets of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, have been warning our people of the exact same message that you just heard this Jake, come out with. All right, and immediately, all right, when I saw this video, the first scripture that came to mind was here in Romans 10 and verse 18, because further and further, the Lord is covering all corners to show and prove that when this hour of temptation hits the whole earth, all Jake will, have no cloak for their sins, because they have been warned by the Lord. All right. So let's read this here. All right. This is Romans 10 and 18. It says, and I'm reading in the NLT. It says, but I ask, have the people of Israel actually heard the message? Yes, they have. The message has gone throughout the earth, and the words to all the world. And that's exactly what we say, man. All right, that the word has gone out. So Jake and everybody pretty much has been made privy to exactly what the prophecies of the Lord are entailing, because as it says here in Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, all right, start at the top, it says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch what to see. Sorry, I read it again. It says, I will stand upon the watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord answered and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. And what is the thing is that we are, making plain upon tables, man. It's the prophecies of the Lord, so that all of the elect, all of Israel, really the whole world, to be honest with you, the whole world is going to know, all right, where we're at as far as of the prophetic timeline, man. And the things that we have been saying, starting with our leadership on down, is that Esau Edom, all right, is at his tail end of his kingdom. All right, so what he's trying to do, all right, is speed up the destruction of this old way of society, so he can crash this thing and bring forth the great reset, which is centered around bringing the digital prison into the earth, which is going to be predicated all around that mark of the beast. So what you heard that Jake say, all right, that woman that he encountered, all right, what she told him was actually prophecy, because yes, the whole world will be tempted, all right, to receive that, mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip. Okay, we go into that all the time, all right, because that's the key to Esau Edom's kingdom, all right, his new world order kingdom, all right, is to have a chip and implanted in everybody in the whole earth, all right, and that's what we are warning our people, because that chip that's going to be mandated, Esau is going to have this world so messed up to where you're not going to have a choice but to comply if you want to continue to live in this world, all right, in the new world, all right. So let's get that real quick. This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 15. It said, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast shall both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And that's what you heard, pretty much is going to happen. If you don't take part in Esau Edom's, chip implantation, you're going to be cut off from the new world order, man. All right. And as you heard, out that Jake's mouth, and pretty much anybody that has a brain in them will automatically, come up with that sentiment of, I'm not putting no chip inside of me. But that's easy to say while you still have all your amenities, and pretty much the world is still in a favorable state to where you can still do your day to day. The real test is going to come via once Esau Edom pretty much unleashes all chaos, and he's bottlenecked the public through, as we're seeing him, inducting this man-made famine. Okay, how he's pretty much taking away the jobs for the people. So, all right, people are gonna have no work. Like I said, and grab that real quick. Isaiah the 19th chapter, how it says there's not gonna be no work for Egypt. All right, these are the things that's all setting up for this new world order system, man. Okay, so you saying that you're not gonna take that chip? It's easy for you to say that right now, but if you don't have the spiritual foundation, all right, to call upon the true names of the Heavenly Father and His Son, all right, you're going to be susceptible to whatever Esau's going to do to try to bottleneck and break your spirit and make you submit unto him, man. All right, this is Isaiah 19:16. It says, it's like in 19:15, neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. And this is why you're seeing, the economy continue to break down, man. All right, Esau is, starting with Trump, cutting all these jobs. All right, and they did away with DEI, so he fired a lot of Jake that was in high positions of government and different jobs. All right, they're doing away with all these different jobs, so people don't have work. They put a report out there and said that it's more unemployed people in America than jobs available. Okay, so it's the gap is going to continue to widen to where it's going to come a point to where none of us are going to be able to work without that chip, man. These are all the roadblocks that Esau Edom is setting up to where you have no choice but to submit to Esau and his beast system, man. So going back to Revelation 13 and 15, it's like it says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. The image of the beast being that revived Roman Empire, because what we're seeing, all right, is a digital Rome being set up in the earth, because going back to when Esau was in power as the pagan Roman Empire, all right, when they fell and Jake took over, which ended up going into the Holy Roman Empire, and Esau was put up for a little bit according to Revelation the 20th chapter. But when he was let loose that little season, all right, it said he was going to go out and deceive the nations, and part of that deception is getting the whole world to bow to this technological prison that he's setting up. All right, this is why you see these what you call them people, the oligarchs. All right, the all these different technocrats who are pretty much put themselves in positions of power. all right, to set up, the system that's going to require you having to pretty much be on this digital grid, man. All right, this is why, like I said, you're hearing talks of digital IDs, all right, in different countries springing up. But like he said, the woman told him what was correct, man. It's going to be, eventually brought over here to America. So all of you people, all right, are going to have to deal with this situation, all right. It's easy to put the shit off when you see it's happening in other countries, but it hasn't hit home yet. Well, guess what? It's going to hit home, man. Okay. Verse 16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And that's that chip, man. Okay, that microchip that Esau Edom is beginning to put into people throughout the earth. All right, because as we know, we brought this out multiple times throughout the years, that it's a good majority of people over there in the land of Sweden that's already chipped, that's walking around in that society, all right, willy nilly. But that is people over here in America, all right, as the Jake proved, that's walking around with chips inside of them, man. And like I said, she told him, all right, she might have been, somebody plugged in to, some people higher up, but what she told him was correct. All right, hey, everybody is going to be faced with that decision, is whether they're going to take it or not. Because as it says, man, hey, it says he calls it all. All right, that word calls it goes into he put it on the books, which means his laws justify mandating this, man. All right, this is definition G1. It says to constitute or appoint one anything, to appoint or ordain one that, but the point, it says to constitute or appoint. All right, and he's gonna do that by his law. That's why the scriptures talk about him that frameth mischief by law. Let me get that real quick. Psalms 94:20. It says, shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by law. And what the people are realizing, especially our people, that the government, all right, has failed them. That a Trump nor any other president that has been in office has never cared about you. All right. And all these presidents all have, put, legislation that follows their predecessor, all to bring forth this new world order. All right. And Trump is just the one that's in office putting all the finishing touches on this, which is why when you look through his and we brought out his project 2025, all right, it's literally ushering in the that digital prison, all right, that new world order system, man. All right. So we're only, a few key prophecies away from this kingdom really, being destroyed, man. Because all we're looking forward to at this point is the economy to collapse, so that all hell can break loose, which is going to cause Esau to bring forth martial law. And during that martial law, we can see, all right, the people begging for a solution to bring some type of order back, and that order is going to be given to you via this new technological system predicated on you taking that mark of the beast. So none of this is in your benefit, especially when it comes to you, Jake. So what Trump is showing you is that, hey, your trust in Egypt was in vain. All right, like it says in Lamentations 4:17. All right, you put your trust in a nation that could not save you, and Esau has never been one to try to save you, so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, man. All right, it was all about making you subjugated under him as perpetual slaves. All right, so that they can mark you as their own property. Okay, so that chip is going to be that major breaking point for people, because like I said, it's easy for all of us to sit here and say what we will and won't do. We're not put in a situation, but the thing about us that believe in this word, all right, we know that the Lord is going to put the spirit on the elect to not to take that. And so this is why the judgment was already written, all right, that the elect is going to be tried unto death, all right, for not taking that chip, which I'll get into that in a minute. So going back, Revelation 13 and 17, it says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark of the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666, which is that psi stigma, okay? The 666, all right? That universal barcode which Esau wants to put inside of all of you, all right, to make, to make proof that we are his property, all right? But the point being, because you still got, people out there that will deny that the talk of a microchip is in the scriptures. Well, the Lord literally gave us clues to show us that this chip is exactly what the Apostle John, the Revelator, all right, warned about, man. Okay, this isn't written here for no reason. All right, this is a warning given to the elect. All right, those that have the eyes to see and the ears to hear, to know exactly what the Lord is talking about here, and what the consequences of not taking that chip is, man. All right, because the Lord's gonna put the spirit on his men not to take it, because I guess like the thing that he said that was on point, like I said, that woman said it. All right, all of you will have to be tried with that, acceptance or denial of that chip. Okay, Revelation 3 and 10, it says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. And so all of us are going to be tried with that hour of testing. Okay, as it says in the NLT, because you have obeyed my commandment to persevere, I will protect you from the great time of testing that will come upon the whole world to test those who belong to this world. And what's going to happen is, the elect is going to resist, and you're even going to have people, of this world that's going to resist. But they're going to they're going to be tried, and you're going to see a lot of people, all right, that's going to break after a certain period, man. So yeah, what you're saying sound good. Yeah, you said you rather go through it, but a lot of that, that tough talk, the Lord's is going to try your spirit to see if you're able to do that. And what's going to come to find out, a lot of you, Jake, that don't have this this truth, you're going to be left out there to your own devices, and the Lord's going to give you over to that chip, man. A lot of you niggas scoffed and mocked at the prophets for bringing this out. All right, a lot of you said that was never going to happen in your lifetime. Well, look, people are walking around with microchips inside of them right now. So what say you people out there that continue to deny that the prophecy of Revelation 13 and 16 is anything but the RFID chip, man? It's no excuse to still be trying to play with the breakdown of this major, prophetic, situation, man. Because the elect is going to be tried, man. And the scriptures talk about, strive for the truth, strive for the truth until death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. So you have to be ready to give up your life, all right? And if that requires you to get your head cut off, guess what? So be it. But a lot of these people, they're not gonna have the conviction to do that, because they don't really stand for nothing, man. All right, they love their life. This is why the scriptures, I just read that, it says he's gonna try those that belong to this world, man. And a lot of you people love your life, man. Okay, this is Matthew chapter 10, verse 39. It says, he that findeth his life shall lose it, and he that loseth his life from, it's like that's not the right one. Mark 8 and 35. It says, for whosoever shall save his life shall lose it, but whosoever shall lose his life for my sake and the gospel's, the same shall save it. Right. So the point being, you have to be ready to give up your life, all right, to stand on what you believe in, because all of our lives are in danger of being put to death as we do this work. That's why when you listen to the Elder Malcolm, up in Chicago, and when he opens his videos, he literally says that, man. All right, those of us that are teaching this word, we are literally putting our lives on the line. All right, but the Lord is having us do this to prove our faith, because hey, we love our lives. We love not our lives unto death, man. All right, we see that hey, our lives are counted as dung here. All right, but we rather lose our lives for Hamashiach's sake than try to save our life. All right, to try to prolong being in this hell, man. All right, you people are gonna see. All right, the ramifications of you choosing this world over the Lord. All right, so when Esau brings forth this famine, when he brings forth these troops, all right, the pestilence and plagues and all these different things, man, he's gonna break these people, man. Okay, but the elect have been fortified through the truth, to where we believe 100% the Lord is gonna make a provision for his elect. All right, grab that real quick, because a lot of you Jakes don't have any type of foundation. So this is why we know you're gonna fold when all this breaks loose, man. All right, so this is the perks of us, serving the Lord. All right, this is Job 5:19. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yea, in 7 there shall no there shall no evil touch thee. In famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth, for thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee. So we're going to be completely protected under, the Lord's protection, man. All right, under his provision. All right. But like I said, and the scriptures do talk about the martyrs as well, man. Hey, get that. But the point, the scriptures say that not all are going to taste death, but, just bringing balance, because the scriptures do mention the martyrs too, man. All right, Revelation 20:4. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Hamashiach, and for the word of Yahweh, which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Hamashiach 1,000 years. So the question to all you people out here that rejected Yahweh Hashem Yahushua's message, all right, that say you ain't gonna take that chip, all right, hey, when faced with death, a lot of you're gonna fold. All right, are you willing to die? All right, to resist what the Lord said don't do. But a lot of these people love their lives. All right, because as we see, we're in a time, like it says in 2 Timothy the 3rd chapter, we're in a narcissistic, environment to where these people, all right, love themselves on an idol level, man. All right, to where they are their own gods at this point, man. So because of their love for their life and they're wanting to prolong living, all right, because a lot of these people don't understand the concept of death. They don't understand that, that's just a transition from your spirit leaving this flesh, going back onto to the spiritual world, onto the Heavenly Father and the Son. All right. But also they don't understand that if the Lord, all right, has you slated to be a martyr, that's one of the highest honors that you can, do for the Lord, because that showed that you really, are a true ride or die for the Lord, man. All right. Get that real quick. Psalms 116:15. Precious in the sight of the Lord is the death of his saints. All right. So precious in the sight of the Lord is the death of his saints, because that showed that you, all right, were a true believer until the end. Like we saw the majority of our forefathers that, that fought, all right, for the Lord until their demise, man. All right. And a lot of them, all right, they didn't, die a painful, shameful death, man. And they died with honor. Okay. So that shows you that if the Lord has it slated for, death, all right, the Lord's going to put the spirit on you to go out gracefully, all right, to the point to where you might not even feel it, but he's going to put the spirit on you nonetheless to resist unto that point, if that is your lot. But if not, and the Lord has it to where you're going to survive, He's going to put the Spirit on you to endure whatever affliction that you're going to have to go through, and you're eventually, all right, going to be delivered through, all right, via being beamed up into those ships and being changed, all right. But if you don't have the Spirit of the Lord behind you, eventually you will break, okay? Because as I said, you built your foundation on sand. You didn't build your foundation on a rock. So, hey, it's not going to take much for Esau to figure out how to break you people, because it's going to, hey, he got these concentration camps, okay, these re-education centers. Remember the red, we bring it out from time to time now, but that was a thing back, in the old days that was brought out a lot, the red, yellow, and blue list, okay? Hey, because they already got brothers that they, know they're not going to be able to turn, so they got them slated for death, which is the red. All right, blue is, brothers that they believe that might be able to turn, so they're going to, have the torture and all that. Or, I say brothers, people, or the yellow list is just going to be you useless eaters that may came across this knowledge, but you weren't rooted. So Esau's going to, he's going to pretty much, brainwash you into becoming a part of that new world order. And a lot of you in those camps are going to take the chip, man. But the elect are going to resist no matter what. Okay, so this is why at the end of the day, man, it's important for you to pretty much understand what this prophecy entails, man. All right, no matter what camps deny the true breakdown of the RFID chip, you see it keeps coming back up because the Lord is making it to where Jacob has no excuse, man. So when it's all said and done, you gonna know that you heard this word, Ezekiel 33:33. That when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come. Then shall they know that the prophet have been among them. All right. So you gonna know in that day that the Lord warned you, because you see all these people talking about the chip. Where you think they getting this information from? They getting it from us, the prophets, man. All right, that dude has came across an Israelite video, man. All right, the way he was speaking, he knows exactly what that chip is, man. All right, he knows that's in the Bible and everything. All right, but he's not going to mention the prophets because hey, he's a worldly individual who's using his platform to try to get notoriety, man. All right, he knows that he speaks the exact truth that we speak. That hey, Esau Edom's going to demonetize him. He's not going to be able to make no money. All right, or even have a platform. Okay. But the point, all right, the judgment, okay, because for all you that will take the chip, just know this will await you. All right, so from a carnal standpoint, you're in between a rock and a hard place. But this is why you need that spiritual understanding of how the Lord's gonna lift up a standard for you. Because if you're looking at it from a carnal lens, Esau is putting you in a lose-lose situation. It's either you take the chip and the Lord will kill you, which is what I'm about to read, all right, or you don't take the chip and you run the risk of if you're looking at it from a carnal mind, all right, being cut off from the system and having to figure it out for yourself. Okay? But we understand that, hey, when we are cut off from the system, we're completely moving by faith at that point. All right, we're totally unplugging and putting all our trust in the Lord, man. Okay, this is Revelation 14:9. It says, "And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and the presence of the Lamb, and the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark on his name." It's like the mark of his name. So if you take that chip, all right, you will take part in that lake of fire, which is known as the second death, man. All right, which will be the ICBM nuclear missile that will be hitting this place and engulfing this land in fire, man. All right. So like I said, when you're looking at it from a carnal standpoint, you look at it like you're screwed either way. But the Lord is going to make a way for his elect that move off faith, man. All right. He's gonna come through with that divine intervention. All right. Let me bring that out real quick. It's been a while. All right. So it says, man, the elect are gonna move our faith, man. All right. This is 2 Corinthians 5:7. It says, "For we walk by faith, not by sight." Because when you're looking at it from a carnal perspective, man, it don't look good. All right, we're stuck in a rock and a hard place. There's no way out. Esau's gonna win when you're looking at it from carnally, but spiritually, when we hearken unto the words of the Lord told us, don't worry, because He's with us. All right, He told us in that in Joshua, He's gonna be with us to the ends of the earth. All right, so hey, when it's time to unplug, man, we're gonna move completely off the Lord, like how we did in the ancient world, man. Okay. Hey, like we was in the wilderness, man. Hey, the Lord fed us with manna. All right, and He had animals, give His men, nourishment. Okay, hey, the Lord, nothing is impossible for Him, man. All right, I wanted to get this excerpt. I'm gonna just read it. All right, this is I forgot the source where I got the screenshot from, but I'll just read it. It says, "As I see it, this is the way Yahweh Shem Yahushua works. He purposely and deliberately works in a way that contradicts the way men reason. He must have an environment of impossibility before He commences the work. That is simply the way the Most High is, and is the manner in which He works." So the Most High, all right, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, okay, it says that He works in a manner in which men can't comprehend. All right, He needs that environment of impossibility. So when you feel like there's no way out, the Lord's gonna step in. All right, like I said, and provide that way to escape, man. All right, so no matter what position you devils put us in, all right, where we might have to go a few days without food, we might get put in concentration camps, we might have to be on the run, all right, in the wilderness. No matter the situation, the Lord told us that we're going to be good. So we have nothing to worry about. Lord willing, we're of the elect. So, hey, you brothers and you sisters out here, man, all right, don't fear, man. The Lord got us, all right? So, hey, just remember, hey, we literally have one up on the people of this world because we have the names, all right? We have the faith, all right? And we know the prophecies, man, okay? So, hey, there's nothing that the Lord can't do, all right, for us. So with that, all right, it should give you solace, man. All right, to know that we have nothing to fear. So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to end it by giving all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Racha HaKodash. Double honors to my apostles and elders of great millstone that taught me this truth and that I rule well. And peace and salutation to the elect. Until next time, I say shalom.